Alright, hey, welcome to another edition of RunBuck on Games. I'm RunBuck, got another war recap for you. This time taking a look at the recent Potluck war with Blood. They're a pretty good clan, and as a side note, check this site out. Might want to take a look at it yourself. It's called cocp.it. You can put in different clans, clan tags, and then see data about them, both in terms of the recent wins, losses, as well as their streak and their degree of difficulty, percent, destruction. So you can kind of get a sense for how their typical wars are going. Might be helpful to you as you try to assess how you should approach a given war. But anyway, they were an alright clan, pretty good. And in potlucks, things are usually pretty even, so it was pretty tight for us, but we ended up winning 82-79. As you can see here. And we've been actually doing really well since the meta change. Take a look at our war log. It's one of our longest streaks in a while. Our last loss was Devil Nest. What was that? 30 days ago, 27 days ago. So I think we're undefeated since the meta change occurred. So that's been fun. But when we look at this specific war, we had 2 attacks at Town Hall 9 we wanted to show, and then 1 attack as a hit up from Town Hall 10 to 11, because we think that's important within the war meta. The hit ups from 11 to 10, from 10 to 11, at least for now, till the 11s are fully maxed, might change. Once those are fully maxed, might become more impossible to do. But for now, it's still important to be able to do those hit ups, and then also peer closes at Town Hall 9 are really important. If I looked at our percentage of Town Hall 9s that were closed by peer, let's take a look. This is where our Town Hall 9s start, right here at number 9. So closed by a 9, closed by a 9, not closed at all. Oh wait, these are defenses. We want defenses. Here we go. Closed by a hit down, hit down, hit down. 1, 2. These 2 were closed by peer. 3, 4, 5, 6, not closed. 7, nope. 7. Nuke again, not closed. That's kind of interesting. Oh wait, that was a peer, but still not closed. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so about 11 of the 22 bases were closed. 11 of the 22 Town Hall 9 bases were closed by peer. The other ones required nukes. So there's a lot more nuke action occurring in wars from 10 to 9, and you're also seeing misses from 10 to 9 as well. In terms of their defenses and looking at our mix, again starting at 8, let's see here. That was a nuke, 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 nuke. We set aside the top ones. So then we start one, oh there's a nuke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So slightly better. We actually did a little better with Town Hall 9s than them. 15 of the 22 Town Hall 9 bases were closed. But I think so that'll become a very big deal, is the Town Hall 9 close rate. Because right now what you're seeing in the meta is that the Town Hall 10's attacks are really being pulled down into Town Hall 9. You're not getting a lot of attacks at Town Hall 10 peer-to-peer, so you're seeing a lot more 2 stars. And you're seeing some misses from 11 to 10. So, which is actually the case here. If you look at the overall results. Wait a minute. You can see I was able to get both 2 11s were down for 2, and we had a 3 from one of them, and we had a 2. So 3 out of 4 were 2 stars, but one was really close to a 3, so almost had 2 for 4, but probably that's a little low on what we need to see. And then they didn't have really any good luck at all. They had one that was a 1-star miss as a nuke, then they had a 96 2-star, a 98 2-star, and a 1-star miss. So their 11 nukes were much more difficult for them. But enough said on the overall meta. I think we're all feeling it. And I just think it means, I'm just showing you that because I think it translates to what the overall expectations should be of clans going forward. Looking at how Town 11's nuke, their nuke percentage success rate will not be a slam dunk, at least for now. I think it's going to get harder as the bomber towers evolve. Let's take a look at the 2 Town Hall 9s. Chest check was the first one. And what was interesting about this was he kind of broke it down. It was more of a base recognition that made it interesting more than anything. So notice here, so he did a 4LQ right there to take out those two ADs, and really opened up a nice lane right here that's not very strong against air. So he'll come in later with a dragon-based push. But then so he realized with a queen-based walk here, he basically could clear this segment, and then he had a king distract with bowlers moving this way, helping push this direction. So it was really nice, a nice three-phase type attack. He had an anti-air attack coming from an anti-air weakness on the bottom, so he pulled dragons on that. Queen charged to this direction where there's really not a lot of pressure on her, and then that nice king distract, king forward type push with the bowlers moving behind it to kind of trim back in. So that one I liked, or that was well liked by everybody. That was the top vote getter. I think because people like the nice recognition of the base more than anything. So it's something to challenge yourself with. Like as you look at the base and think about things you could do, does it create a notable weakness? Kind of like when you blew up those two ADs, that notable anti-air weakness or that air weakness on that bottom part. Do you do that kind of stuff and try to learn how to do that when you look at bases? Ponder different ways of hitting it and what that creates as a weakness, and then playing off that weakness to the next thing in a domino type fashion. Let's look at RedAce's next, another Town Hall 9 Pier 3-star. I need to check whether these were first fresh hits or not. We'll do that here in a second. But RedAce does Watch the Queen. Attacked by SkelaTroopers, as we call them. So basically 3 skeleton spells dropped on the queen allows your air attack, which typically would have to have some type of ground push, burn a lot of slots trying to get into the queen and take her out so that your air units can fly around and not have the risk of her chasing them all over the map. This allows you to basically push in with the air, and then once it begins to, she distracts against the hound. I think it was the hound in this case. We'll play it one more time. But when the hound moves into her area and is distracted, then you just dump the SkelaTroopers on her and it'll take her out. Here, so let's go ahead and move fast. So there's the zapQuake. There's the 2 hounds. So the queen is now distracted, right? As are the 2 ADs. The only thing that's going to harass the SkelaTroopers is going to be this Expo. So there it's dropped, right? And you really don't have a... it must have been a... Where was the CC at? Oh, there it is. It's a golem. So it's interesting. The SkelaTroopers did the SkelaTroopers trigger the CC? I didn't see that golem come out, because that would have been an interesting. Would they attack the queen over the golem? So let's take another look one more time, if we get through this, and see. Because I think the big thing about this is the SkelaTrooper action more than anything. One more time. We're watching for if. No. Did it? Okay, let's watch. Do you see a golem coming out? I don't. So the skeleton spell does not trigger CC. I think I already knew that, because I think they were trying to allow you to have centered CCs that block, are still, not easily triggered. You have to work your way to trigger them, so the skeleton spell is not triggering is for that, but it in effect creates the opportunity to use them to, kill something like a queen without the worry of a golem coming out, which would have totally distracted the skeletons and the queen would have survived. So an interesting wrinkle off of what Supercell did to try to keep the CCs as a center defensive structure, ignoring the skeleton spells for that, the SkelaTroopers then are allowed to focus more on the queen. No CC trigger means they will not have to deal with CC when they're coming in and airdropping in. So that's another interesting attack. I think we've been playing with SkelaTroopers a lot. That's another example of that. And lastly, let's take a look at Darth Carlos's hit up. I mentioned this being important, at least for now. Until we'll have to see as the defenses reach their maximum at Town Hall 11. This guy has not upgraded any of his expos as of yet. And where is his bomb towers? One's there. One's there. What are those? Level 1? Look like level 1. So really, he's got a ways to go. His mortars aren't upgraded either. I suppose his Teslas probably aren't upgraded either. But Carlos does a nice job of a Loon Snipe to get some initial percentage, and then a queen walk to get some more percentage, and also shape the entry for the final Valk charge under rage with jump, which is what you see a lot of the 2-star hit-ups using. They basically get into position and they Valk charge to get the damage down fast enough while not dying off. And look at that nice percentage, 60%. So as long as that's still feasible, that was a pretty buried town hall, but I don't know if it'll continue to be that, but as long as it's feasible, that's a core skill you need to see. Bonus round wise, let's take a look at a nuke. We were hitting down low to make sure we had a shot, so it's not too exciting. But this is, you know, they didn't really pull off any nukes, so you can kind of see it's like it's not that easy as you might think, but it's just the classic bowler with then the distract off that to the miner side. And because the miners are a little bit slower now to pop up and down, you kind of really got to work the distraction. So you noticed how as the bowlers were moving this way and the kill team with it, we were coming in off their flank, so basically not a lot of pressure on the miners. We let them just kind of keep the bowlers moving in this direction. You really don't want to leave them out hanging and taking the whole defense. So anyway, that does it. Hope that helps. I did promise I would check if the hits were fresh or not. Let's take a look. Defenses. So Carlos's was a fresh hit, and Ace's was a second hit, and Check. Which one did we look at for him? 25? 25 was a fourth hit. So he really knew a lot about that layout. He'd seen a few people fail on it, so it's not like it was just this easy slam dunk. So there you go. Hope it helps, guys. We'll keep you updated as we continue to play with SkelaTroopers. Good luck in your wars.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. 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 What? I like Wryhorn. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.